Mm.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo. This is the MeWe Metaphysics and Wellness Fair for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm here today interviewing Stacy Gardner. Stacy, it's lovely to be with you.
It's nice to be with you. Thank you.
So tell us about you and your work. What is it that you offer?
Well, someone might traditionally call me more of a practitioner of the healing arts, but I definitely prefer ally, more of in my sitting with someone, it's about being fully their ally, no matter what they're going through or what they're experiencing. And the overall intention is to help them find their truth, to find their center and connect with themselves in a very full way. And for some people that may be being very human, and some people might have a little more access to being to reaching into the point of view of the higher self, and some can even go into very expansive places. Yeah.
Maybe give me a little bit of a flavor of, like, practically, like what it can look like when you're with people, what it can look like and feel like, and or like why do people come see you? Kind of give me a little more of the ways in and what it's like being in there.
So I consider myself a resource-based healer. So what that might be, let's take an example. Let's say someone comes in and they're having feelings, they're triggered, or something's going on. And the support that I offer is to help them come into a place of resource so that they can find as much as that person can in that moment in time, so they can find as much stability and groundedness and center as possible. And then from that place, turning towards what's going on, finding aspects of self that might be hurting and hearing what those aspects have to say. Mm-hmm. And they're rooted, I was going to say most often, but I think they're always rooted in some wisdom, some essence quality, and it may be even an essence desire. I want this, and this isn't happening. And from that place, when that can build, we can go into expanding into connection with their essence self, so that they can move into a point of view of their higher self and come into their own wisdom, feeling and connecting to wisdom that's kind of beyond the human mind. And people often give me feedback that the reason they come to me, even though that's kind of where I hold my intention, I get a lot of feedback that people just feel safe and feel accepted. And it's just a really good place to have what's going on, to be able to come into a held space. And that's really important to me.
Yeah. I like it's a space for people to get closer to what is here that they felt scared of getting closer to on their own.
Yes. And I'll say it's not always about pain or fear. Sometimes it's about really expanding into the beauty of themselves, coming into this self-love. Well, all of it can be about self-love, but really embodying this shiny being, this beautiful being, and not feeling cautious about that, or less cautious than maybe some environments, so that they get a chance to really embody their true self, their essence, and be in the place where they shine. Yeah.
And maybe, like, I'm imagining I know
Mhm.
you, but maybe help give the people that are watching more of a sense of how does this happen with people?
Um, well, let's see. My mind just went into many different threads, so let me see if I can bring it back. Um, I'll say for my side, um, really attuning to them and really holding a space that there are no expectations. There's nothing required. And oftentimes it's about just slowing down and being present. Um, that can be really powerful in and of itself, just to be present with someone in a witnessing, holding space container. Um, let's see, let's see where all the cats went. They were like herding cats in my head. Um, and oftentimes there's an aspect that I bring to it that, depending on the person, may be part of the conversation, and for other people it may not be. Um, but there's an energetic component. I'm definitely tracking energetically what's going on, and I'm going into these higher realms where the wisdom can come through. And sometimes it's very obvious, like, um, here's what I'm hearing, here's what wafted through my head, does that resonate? And sometimes it's just invitations. Would you be willing to breathe right now? Or what is it that would feel good in this moment? Or what do you want someone to hear or witness or know about you in this moment?
Yeah.
And so it's just another way to say all of that. It's just taking any given moment in time and being there so deeply, and letting that moment of time blossom into the next moment of time without any predefined journey.
It's great that you said blossom because it is so much an organic flow of what is, what's
Mhm,
here.
mhm.
Yeah, unfolding.
Yeah.
Maybe do you want to give everyone a glimpse of what your pathway has been, like how you have come to do this work?
Well, my goodness, it has been. Let's see. Um, I will say that as a young person, um, my goal as a young person was to shut down and be protected. I wanted to be John Wayne. I wanted to be the guy that could go, I'm walking off into the sunset and it doesn't hurt and I'm all good. Um, and then there hit a point in time in my young 20s where someone really met me. And um, it was amazing what it felt like to not only feel love, but trust it. Like, I know this is happening. And somewhere within that relating space with that person, I did a 180. It's like, okay, I'm going to open up. I'm going to be the one that's so available and honest and present. And as part of that opening, things started presenting themselves, these opportunities. I moved out to Colorado, and this is where we know each other from. There's a group here in Colorado that helped um, people cultivate the ability to go in and be with feelings, because that was not something I did. And so I cultivated that for a while, multiple years. And at some point, I started wondering, well, let me tell you what I was thinking at the time. At the time, I was looking towards myself, going, I need to heal. I need to grow. I need to expand. And the way I hold that now is I need to change. And at some point, I was wondering where the compassion for myself was, because I wasn't holding that place. And it became really important to me to bring compassion into my experience with myself, and even have not just compassion, but to cultivate self-love. And that was a huge change for me. And when I started really desiring compassion and self-love, I moved from this, I need to change, I need to heal, to let me see what works with me. What is it that I bring? What is it that's special about me that I can claim regardless of what the world says? And about the same time, I started getting into this energy work. And I've been in one energy school. We're finishing up my second 2-year program. And I've been in another energy school for the last year. We meet every week, multiple times a week, honestly. And that space can really move into this idea of resource and the beauty of self. But it's so important to me to never leave behind the human, never leave behind the parts that need attention, that need holding, that need love. And so I'm really attentive to not bypassing anything, but also not turning my back on expansive places that are beyond words and surprising and always an exploration. And so that brings me to this point in my life. Both energy schools have a significant component to train practitioners in this work. And I will say I didn't go into the first program with any anticipation of doing practitioner work. But at some point, because everyone had to do some work with supporting others, it just started being surprising. And it was amazing. Something would happen in the space, and it just became an alchemical space with two people, and something would bloom, and the person would be having their experience, and I was blooming too. It was just amazing. There's no separation in that space, that both people get to really benefit. And that was amazing, to be in support with someone, and then just having something, or should I say, having an experience that was amazing on my side too. And so I love it, and I've pretty much committed all of me to this.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I didn't ask earlier, do you have a name that you call what it is you do, or how do you just, like, a brief way you describe
Lord child.
that's okay. I'll play with something for how to list this video, but
I know. If it's somewhere between, and I don't like any of these labels, but it's somewhere in between, like counseling, healing, energy work. And none of that I like, because it feels like there's this thing being applied to a person.
Yeah.
And so I just like ally, because there's nothing being applied. There's just a welcome space for a person to be all that they are.
It kind of seems like it's alchemical allyship or something like that.
Ooh, and maybe that's it. We're going to create a whole category. Yeah.
Do you have information about you on the web that people
I do. I have a website, and it is stacy-gardner.com. And my first name is spelled Stacy, and that's dash GARDNER.com.
Great. Yeah. So people can find you. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, so is there anything else that you want to share before we,
Um,
like any,
no, just talking about it just makes me, I just feel so delighted inside. It just makes me happy and excited. There's just something about all of this that really resonates with my soul, with my bones. So I really, really appreciate giving me an opportunity to be in this space with you.
it's great. Well, I've
Mm.
loved talking with you. I'm excited to have this up on our site.
Mm.
So for those of you listening or watching, you can find out more about Stacy at her website. This video is going to be up on our site and maybe she'll be in some of our events. We'll see how this is going to go. Maybe we'll create some new event for Stacy. You can
Yeah.
learn about more of what we're doing at mewefairs.com. That's MEWEFAIRS.com. Thanks so much, Stacy.
Thank you.